invited us to tell our tales to our juniors here. I am Urvi Bhatia, a former student of Manasthali School and the founder of Urvi Design Company. So before we talk about my startup and my journey, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I was sitting in your chair, and it was not that long ago, that and attending classes, hanging out with my friends, eating lunch in the middle of class, and that is so many times, probably, all of you do that now. So however, now that I'm on the other side, I can see how far I've come. So now let me ask you a question. What do you think that has enabled us to be competent enough to be here speaking with you today? Anyone has an answer to that? I'll tell you. I believe it's the choices that we made. Simply said, the decisions that you make impact who you are and give you a direction to your journey. So journey is not something that happens randomly, it's a journey after all. I simply didn't start working yesterday to reach where I am today. And even today, it's a work in progress, trust me. For me, this journey started with a vision. Although I believe I still have a long way to go and I'm just getting started, I had this vision for a very long time. I was never a nerd child, I was not a bookworm at all. So however, even at that age, I wanted to experience everything and I didn't want to miss out on anything, because there's nothing wrong to wanting to eat the cake and have it too. So I put a lot of effort into my studies, but I also played a lot of basketball and I gave a lot of stage performances, quite frequently because we know. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for that. And most importantly, I hung out with my friends and I did a lot of that, trust me. But even amidst all of this, I felt deep down that I wanted to make a difference in my regular life. I wanted to do something different. शायद उस टाइम पे उतना समझ में नहीं आता. Obviously, we all are young then. But I can see that there was always a vision. I realize that now. So what is a vision? And how did it actually start? It is a dream beyond our imagination. Most often, we don't allow ourselves to think about the future. Do you guys think about your future? Thank you so much. I did, and I still do. A lot of people are very afraid of change, and they are busy living in the present, and they're not thinking about the future. But I did thought about it, and I still do. I dreamt, I imagined, and I painted a picture of the future I wanted for myself in my head. It was loud and clear. It was then and now. But how did I do it? How do I make this picture a reality? To be honest, I was completely unaware. Kuch nahi pata hota kisi ko, no knowledge at all. And nobody ever does. So what do? Do you give up on dreaming? No, not at all, of course not. So what did I do? Since I didn't know what I wanted to do, I got rid of what I didn't want to do. So I call it the rule out approach. And for that, what do? You look at the people around you. You look at their lives. You observe. What kind of life they're living. You have so many adults around you. You observe them. Observe their thoughts, their energy. Trust me, things will be much better. You see if you want a life like that. So my father always tells me one thing. When you have to solve a problem and we are, so many times in difficult situations, that अगर आपको किसी problem का solution नहीं मिलता, so then आप छत पे जाके सबको बताओ. So if you have a problem that you're trying to find a solution to, you tell it to the whole world and you will definitely find a solution. Somebody will give you a solution. And that is how I discovered the field of architecture. So now if you're confused, what you want to do career-wise, you do all of these things. Would you believe my father wanted me to become an IAS officer? You understand that? How difficult is that? And my sister, because I was good at drawing and everything, she wanted me to become an artist. So वो चाहते थे कि मैं बनूँ ये सब. So when I discovered architecture, did it become my great dream? No, of course not. I was interested, sure, but I wasn't passionate about it at the time. So I kept my options open. जैसे सब रखते हैं, you take your science, you do all of this, I want to keep my options open, पता नहीं क्या करना है. So, but after much research and discussion and training, of course, I found myself in an architecture college. Then there was no looking back after that. I put my complete heart and my soul into 5 years of college. Yes, it's a 5-year course. And before I knew, it was time to get out in the real world and deal with the real struggles, internships, finding a job, leaving your comfort zone, as Anuja said, that it's very important, leaving your comfort zone. And you have to do it at some point in your life. And of course, like everyone here, I wanted to earn money, and lots of it. But trust me, koi aise paise nahi deta tumhe. You need to be more than deserving to get what you actually deserve. And since I've been on both sides now, I pay and I get paid, so I know. So then, I completed 2 internships and a job in 2 years before I went for my master's to the UK. So one might say that it was a fast change of jobs. Not a lot of people appreciate that, you're changing jobs so frequently. But as they say, कहीं पहुंचने के लिए कहीं से निकलना बहुत ज़रूरी है. I'm sure ये जवानी है दीवानी को सबने देखी होगी, right? So I left each of my jobs when I thought I've taken everything and I could and I wanted to from each of the job. And I also understood that working at such jobs for a longer period of time would just make my vision fade, and I hated wasting time. Here, I would like to take a moment and share with you a very small incident, but it's actually impactful. So it is about an opportunity that had come my way almost out of nowhere. Opportunities, they're very funny things. They don't normally come, and they come very few here and there. So it was an opportunity to work on and build an upcoming underground airport project in Chennai. I was delighted, obviously. I couldn't believe it. I thought, obviously, I'm in. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. But you know what I did?
Turn off the charge.
It was a very calculative decision. It was almost a 5-year job, because obviously it takes that long to plan and build an airport, right? It takes, almost a year to build a home, so you can imagine. So I decided to stick to my vision. I wouldn't have been here today speaking to you if I would have taken that job. I wouldn't have been an entrepreneur today if I was there. It was a decision, a choice, as I said, which is very important. And this one was a difficult one for sure. And then a year later, I faced a similar situation. A same opportunity came my way. And you can probably guess, since I'm standing here, I'm not there. So why do you think I turned down these 2 amazing opportunities? The answer to this is very simple. I had imagined the life for myself. I had a vision, as I said in the beginning. And I chose to choose what I had thought to work towards it. Working towards your dreams is the most important part, and that requires being fearless. And when I say, I don't mean for you, to have like a single dream and then put it in a box and then keep working towards it. No, that's not what I'm saying. Let your dreams evolve. Set higher standards every time. So you have a dream, you try to achieve it, and then you evolve and set higher standards. What I mean here is for you to have a very strong vision to start with, and then keep evolving, because, my friends, change is the only constant thing in life, and you are never too old or never ever too experienced to learn something new. Each experience and every opportunity is like a stepping stone that prepares you for what's coming. And if you give 100%, you will be prepared and things will automatically fall in place. And just like that, everything fell in place and directed me to finally start something of my own. To start finally working towards my vision. It was like a beginning of a childhood dream, to have something that I'm building from scratch, something that has my heart and my soul, something that I know I'll continue doing and continue enjoying probably all my life. Here, my friends, was my passion. So now I present to you my startup, my baby, UV Design Company, or UBDC. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about UBDC. UBDC is an architecture and interior design firm catering to design and construction of all kinds of residential and commercial projects. It was founded in Feb 2023, so that is not that long ago. It was founded by me and my partner, Parth Kapoor, who could not be here today, but he was also an ex-Manasthalian, so we both were here. So we were just young people like you. But what motivated us to become young entrepreneurs? And further on, what made us into successful young entrepreneurs, as they call us, all our teachers today. Thank you so much. So Parth and I, we both come from business families. So we know it's not an easy job. Having your own business is like having a baby. It requires patience. So it requires patience, hard work, consistency, discipline, and constant focus and attention. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's a beautiful feeling, especially when the hard work pays off. When you see it grow, nothing compares to that. And that is something that keeps you motivated. So how do you actually start a startup? You see that? How do you actually start a startup? Don't worry, I'm not going to lecture you and bore you with a lot of norms about the government and everything. No, that's not what you're here for. But I'm going to tell you a few ways to get it together and keep it that way. It's kind of difficult. So the very first thing, get yourself together. So startups, as I said earlier, they need constant attention. It's not a cakewalk. And when I say get yourself together, I mean you get yourself, whole self, into the startup. Mentally, physically, emotionally, you should be ready to give your everything to it, like every bit of your body. And once you are ready to start, once you're ready to start, just press that button and take off. Just start somehow, because half of the people, they just don't start. They're just afraid to start. So just simply start. And then once you are up there, you will have to make an effort or you will fall down. And then there's no coming back. It's very difficult, of course. But trust me when I say, once you start and you're willing to do whatever it takes, things do come your way. You understand that. They will actually fall into place. And I honestly had no idea where my first project was going to come from. But I started anyway, thinking I need to mark my presence in the market for people to actually see me. And when we were in the first half of our first project, again we had no idea where our second project was going to come from. And the same anxiety and the tension before getting our hands on our third and the fourth project. And now we have completed 4 projects in Delhi, multiple projects in Delhi, Gurgaon, and a project in Nainital, and we are now looking forward to a project in Bombay. So how did we get here? By genuinely and fully believing in ourselves, as well as by encouraging one another. So me and my partner, we encourage each other throughout the difficult moments, throughout the moments of anxiety. And above all, maintaining consistency. And what do you mean by maintaining consistency? You are happy, you work. You are sad, you work. You fail, you get up and you work again. And you take the wrong decisions. Obviously, all of us do. And it's okay, but just never give up. Be patient, be consistent, and believe in yourself. And put in that hard work. That extra hour, because that's how you carve yourself to become nothing but the best version of yourself and live that dream, imagine and live that dream. Because as Dr. Kalam said, सपने वो होते हैं जो हम सोते वक्त नहीं देखते. You know, dreams are not that you actually see while you're sleeping. Dreams are something that do not let you sleep.
Yes.
Yeah. That was my time. Thank you so much. Actually, I am going to show you something. I prepared this presentation. I hope it was better for you this way. So this is a sneak peek into my projects. You know, we have done multiple projects, and if any one of you is looking to get into architecture or interior design, this is what it somehow looks like. This is a video, and I would like to show